You might know me from GoPro. This book came out several years ago. It's sold over 3 million copies around the world. 7 Steps to Becoming a Network Marketer from GoPro. This book came out several years ago. It's sold over 3 million copies around the world. 7 Steps to Becoming a Network Marketing Professional. If you haven't read the book, I hope you do. If you or listen to the audiobook, either one. But what I've been doing full-time for the last 11 years is helping the network marketing profession, supporting the network marketing profession, providing training to the network marketing profession. And I love this profession. I was, to tell you a little bit about my story as we start, just so you have some context, is I started off in network marketing in 1988. And at that time, I was 23 years old. I had barely escaped high school. I was C-minus student in high school, barely graduated. And I counted it up one time. I had 18 jobs by the time I was 23 years old. And I was a little bit desperate. I was a little bit afraid of what was my future going to be, what was my life going to be if something didn't turn around, because I had a bunch of dead-end jobs and minimum wage jobs, and I didn't really see a future. And good fortune came my way in the way of one of my mentors. And one of my mentors was the best friend of my father. His name was John Joyce. And John, I worked for John and my father the last job I had before I got involved in network marketing. And John was one of those guys who believed in me more than I believed in myself. He was the first person outside of my family that said, you know what, that kid's going to do something. Yeah, he was always reaffirming his belief in me to me, and he was reaffirming it to other people. And I always heard him saying good things about me, and it filled me up with hope. And one day he came to me and said, Eric, I think I have a way for us to make some extra money. And he invited me to go to his friend Charlie's house. We got in the car with my father and John, and we drove to Charlie's house, and I saw my very first network marketing presentation. And originally, now mind you, I'm broke. 2 out of the 3 other people in the room are millionaires. I'm broke. And my mental filters just couldn't let it in. I don't know about you. The first time you were introduced to network marketing, it just seemed too good to be true. It just seemed like it made it look so easy, and everybody's making all this money and all this stuff. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not interested. No thanks, I'm good. And they said, that's fine, Eric, you can wait in the car. And I was like, wow, okay. What happens if they succeed and I don't get involved and I have to watch them succeed every single day? That's going to just be the worst thing in the world. So I swallowed my pride. I pulled my dad aside. I asked him for a loan, and I got involved in this network marketing profession. And it was a day that changed my life. There's many days inside of this network marketing experience that changed my life. I don't know where we find you today. I don't know if you're ready to change your life or not. I don't know if you're ready for a new evolution of you or not. But I've got to tell you, that day changed my life. And if you're ready to make a decision, network marketing can help you change your life too. I'd love to tell you, I got involved, I got started, and I'd love to tell you my first several years were just automatic success, but they weren't. I struggled. I really struggled for my first 3.5 years inside of network marketing. I build and rebuild, and I'd bring people in and they'd quit, and I'd bring people in and they wouldn't do anything, and I'd replace those with other people, and I just kept going, making just enough money to be able to pay the minimum on my bills, and I hadn't really figured it out. And 3 things happened for me, and it can happen for you. One is I made a decision. I remember that like it was yesterday. I was sitting in an event and watching all these people walk across the stage, and I just made a decision. What if I decide to become a professional? What if I let go of trying to get lucky? What if I let go of being in the right place at the right time? and I just decide to become an expert here. So I made the decision, and now I got to tell you, I thought I had made the decision many times in my first 3.5 years, but I didn't really. There was things that could knock me out. There was things that could sidetrack me, things that could discourage me, things that could immobilize me. But once I really made the decision, it was like an audible snap in my head. I made the decision. I went, you know what? I'm going to do this. And my dominating emotion for my first 3.5 years was fear. And in that one instant of making a decision, my fear left my body. And I just said, I've got this. I don't know when I'm going to get to the top, but I'm going to get to the top. I don't know how exactly I'm going to get to the top, but I'm going to get to the top. And getting to the top for me was constituted on two basic actions. Action number one was I decided to master the 7 fundamental skills inside of network marketing. I decided I was going to master them. I was going to become a world-class expert at the 7 fundamental skills, which I'm going to share with you over the course of these 3 hours we're going to spend together. And I did. And number 2, I decided that however I needed to do it, I was going to get the coaching necessary to move faster into my success than if I didn't have the coach. I was going to find the mentors inside of network marketing. I was going to find the coaches in or outside of network marketing. I was going to literally search out the coaches necessary for me to be able to have the life that I wanted. Because, look, you know what I've realized over the course of my life? Time machines exist. You see these movies about time machines when people go into the future? Well, here's what I'm here to tell you is time machines are real. Now, here's how the real time machine works. Some of you move into the future and you're the same age. If you go into a time machine in a movie, you move into the future, walk around in the future, move into the past, walk around in the past. Here's how the real time machine works in real life. I can show you how to be 1 year smarter without being 1 year older. Would that be worthwhile? I could show you how to become 5 years smarter and not be 5 years older. That'd be pretty neat, right? Well, here's how it worked for me and how it can work for you. I got coaches on everything. Because here's what a coach does. Here I am on this day. A coach comes into my life who's spent an enormous amount of time already learning what I would want to learn. And that coach teaches me what it took them a year to learn, teaches me that in a week. Now I'm not a year older, but I'm a year smarter. What's the most valuable thing in the world? Time. Time is the most, you get more money, you can't get more time. So how'd you like to just get smarter and smarter and smarter without getting older and older and older? That was my secret. Combination of becoming amazing at skills and getting the coaching that was necessary so I saved time and I was able to move forward, okay? So that's what happened to me. It can happen to you. And that's just a little bit of a setup, and we're going to get into some training. But before we do that, I want to tell you about a friend of mine, Sir Richard Branson. And Sir Richard Branson, he's this amazing character, built these Virgin brands around the world, and he's just a beacon of light, and he's probably the most iconic on
Screw it, just get on and do it and have a blast. He doesn't know how to dress, does he?
I know, I didn't know where to go with this.
Hang on a minute. What have I got in my pocket? They're not very big, but they're big enough, I think. Entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is somebody who thinks that they have an idea that can improve other people's lives, and then says, you know, screw it, I'm going to do it, and gets on and does it. You need to surround yourself with brilliant people. And a good entrepreneur tries to find better people than themselves. Being an entrepreneur need not be lonely if you are the kind of person that embraces the team of people around you. I think it's fantastic that 80% of network marketers are women, and network marketing gives so many women the chance to have a family, work from home, make some extra money on the side. All of you are making a real difference to so many women's lives all over the world. In the end, I think the product that you're selling speaks for itself, and I think word of mouth is actually key.
You know, you may well fall flat in your face, but then pick yourself up, keep trying until you succeed.
So, Sir Richard Branson talking positively about our network marketing profession. And one thing I have to tell you, because we're live here, there's so many people pounding the comments that it's slowing up people's feed, and people are saying it's freezing up and it's buffering. If you disable the comments on the side of the video that you're watching right now, it will help the video feed flow more smoothly on your end, okay? So you may want to find that button and disable the chat roll, okay? The comment feed, okay? Now, I want to talk to you about what's going on inside of network marketing before we get into a little bit of training. What's going on inside of network marketing is, I got to tell you, a month ago, I was concerned because I expected that no matter, network marketing does good in down economies. Network marketing does good when the general economy does bad. In recessions, we do good. People are looking for money. They're looking to be resourceful. They're looking to be creative, and they're open to new ideas, right? So I expected, as optimistic as I am, and I'm as optimistic as you can imagine, I expected a lot of people were going to put their head in the sand, watch the news all day, be concerned, or sit there and wait for this to be over. And it was going to hurt network marketing productivity. But guess what? It hasn't. It hasn't hurt network marketing productivity. To the contrary, virtually every company around the world is reporting record sales, record recruiting, record growth, record rank advancements in the last 30 days, and it's just accelerating. It's just amazing. Now, I think there's several reasons for this. One is people still want to be able to purchase valuable products for themselves and for their families. That's number one. So that's not slowing things down because we drop ship everything to the world. We don't have brick and mortar. We drop ship everything around the world. It's the reason why Amazon's not hurting. Same thing's true with network marketing. We're not hurting when it comes to the products. Number two, now more than ever before, people are realizing that if they don't have a way to work from home, they're putting their family at risk. Network marketing provides the most responsible way for the average person to be able to work from home and to develop an income using some sweat equity and connecting and partnering with a company with products that they believe in. Where else for a few $100s can you get involved, start a business, immediately get the tax benefits of that business, and then use word-of-mouth advertising, using social media, using technology like we're using right now, educate people as to what it is that you have. So the second thing is, number one reason is people still are wanting to buy these products. They're wanting to be able to take care of their families. They're not slowing down on purchasing. They're just slowing it down on where they're purchasing. Number two, people are very open to a work from home option. And what I tell people is you don't have to say yes to network marketing, but you need to make a list of all the different work from home options that are available, and network marketing needs to be on the list. You need to at least learn about it. Learn a little bit more about it. And maybe your idea of it is a little old-fashioned. So learn about it, and whatever you decide, just take the opportunity to really protect your family, because you could sit back and you could wait for the government to take care of you. You could wait for the traditional jobs to come back. And I'm sure the government's going to do a great job of taking care of people. And I'm sure that jobs are going to come back. But what if it takes a while? Or what if it's different than what it was before? Regardless of what you choose, you need to have one form or another of the ability to work from home. And network marketing provides the most responsible ability to be able to do that. So 1 is the products are selling, 2 is people are open for work from home opportunities, and 3, remember when a day used to just be a day? A day was a day, and then it was tomorrow, and that day was a day. Now every day is like a week and a half. I mean, think about how long March felt. And what's happening with people inside of network marketing, they're so productive now. And honestly, a lot of people in network marketing were kind of lazy. They were kind of, kicking back, letting their business work for them. But they decided they got nothing else to do. They decided to go to work. And they got really active. And they started having more conversations with people. And from those conversations, more people were taking a look at their products and more people were taking a look at their opportunity. So it's like, okay, the amount that people are getting done. I mean, I think the month of April, there's some companies that could be 100% up month over month because of how much productivity is happening inside of the network marketing space. It's amazing what's happening, okay? So feel good about that. Everybody we shouldn't live in fear. We should take the precautions. You should wash your hands. You should isolate from any risk situations, especially if you're immune compromised. Do all the responsible things that we're being told to do. But at the same time, while you're at home, don't sit there on vacation. Use that time to be able to build a financial wall around your family that nothing can get through. Network marketing can help the average person do that better than any other form of entrepreneurship. The most responsible, the least amount of startup costs, the most amount of support, the most amount of training, right? You'd make the commitment to make a decision, learn the skills, get some coaching, and be a year smarter without being a year older, then I think you're going to be in great shape, okay? So I want to introduce you to one of my friends. He is a literal living legend. If you ever saw the movie The Secret, you know who Bob Proctor is. We're going to go, well, can we go to Bob next? Yes. Okay, Bob's ready. We're going to go to Bob Proctor next. Bob is in Arizona. He's just an absolute genius, and he's got a message to share with all of you today. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bob Proctor.
Hello and welcome. I'm Bob Proctor, the chairman of the Proctor Gallagher Institute. And it's a real pleasure for me to be able to take part in this GoPro world tour that Eric, Wory is putting on. And you deserve to be congratulated, Eric, for doing this, especially at this time. Sandy Varvel, Eric's executive producer, had contacted me and explained what Eric was doing, and he had asked if I would like to participate. Well, the world is going through such an enormous transition right now. And you'll often hear people say, one person can't change the world. But I'm going to tell you something. One person changed my world 59 years ago. It was in 1961, a man gave me this book, Think and Grow Rich. And he said, Bob, if you'll do exactly what I tell you and follow the principles that are laid out in this book, he said, you can have anything you want. Now, I'm going to be very honest, I did not believe that. I was unhappy, I was sick, I was broke, I mean, I was going in the wrong direction. That man literally changed the course of my life. Well, you know, there's a lot of people mentally that are in the space that I was in October 1961. And I believe you are in the position as a network marketer to help them change the situation they're in. You know, Wallace Wattles in The Science of Getting Rich, on chapter 7, on the very first page, he said the entire process of mental adjustment and atonement can be summed up in one word: gratitude. Every morning, I sit down and I write out 10 things I'm grateful for. I do it without fail every morning. That started a long time ago. You know, that day in October 1961 is a day that I'll never forget because it literally changed my life. We know that the world is going through a change right now. It's a phenomenal change. And there's a lot of people that are wandering around in the mental state that I was in back in 1961. I was scared. I was lost. My whole focus was on myself. That's all I could think about. And Ray Stanford changed that. Now, I've been in this business, as I say, for 59 years. I am frequently asked, Bob, if you were starting over, what would you do? Like that. I give them the same answer every time. I would join a network marketing company. Because I really believe the network marketing industry has done more for the world than any other single industry. It will help anyone become an entrepreneur. It will help anyone fulfill their dreams that will follow the rules that are laid down very clearly by everyone that has ever won in network marketing. Napoleon Hill lays them down in Think and Grow Rich. Well, I want to suggest that you're in a position today to help a lot of people. You may be wondering, how are you going to fare out of this whole thing? You're going to do fine if you form the attitude, I'm here now to serve. I'm here now to help, because you've got a phenomenal opportunity. There's all kinds of people losing their work. They're losing their jobs. They're scared. They don't know what to do. I believe you're in the position to help them. Network marketing is without question one of the most incredible concepts that ever come down the pike. Anyone with a little bit of ink and a couple of dollars like that, and they're in business for themselves. It's a phenomenal opportunity. Think of this for a moment. If we let the sand in this glass represent our life, the sand in the top of the glass represents the future. You know, if you just hold my book up there, you don't know how much sand you have left in the top of the glass. We do know what's in the bottom. That's the past. It's gone. When I was a little kid, my grandmother used to always be saying, I'll soon be gone, dear, I'll soon be gone. Well, you know, it got to a point we thought Grandma was never going to go. Grandma thought she only had a little bit of sand in the top of the glass. Turned out she actually had a lot. She would have been around 60 when I remember starting to hear that. Grandma didn't leave us till she was 94, and the angels just came and took her away one night. She thought she had a little, she had a lot. Now, I jumped around with another young guy named Bob Yates when I was 16 years old. If you had asked Bob how much time he had left, he'd say at least half a century. Bob didn't have a half an hour. He was coming in the Kingston Road Highway in Toronto in his panel truck, hit the abutment of a bridge, and his life was snuffed out. See, we really don't know how much time we have left, but we do know where we are right now. That's all we've got. That's all we can count on is right here, right now. If you will make up your mind that you're going to do the best you can do right now, help as many people as you can. It's not hard to find somebody that's looking for help. The vast majority of the world is scared. They are really afraid. They're looking for direction. They're looking for an opportunity. You've got one to give them. I would recommend anybody go into network marketing. It's such a phenomenal concept. You can become financially independent. I know so many people who are worth millions of dollars today that started with nothing. But someone, the same as Ray Stanford sat down with me with this book, someone came and gave them the opportunity. I want to suggest you do that. You make up your mind right now that you're going to do what you know you can do. Do it one at a time, right now. One person can change the world. One person changed my world. I want to congratulate Eric on what he's doing, and I want to congratulate you on what you're doing. I believe network marketing is the most phenomenal profession that you're going to find. And I'm glad that I work around so many network marketers. This is Bob Proctor. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate you, my friend. And ladies and gentlemen, we all do have a gift. And we all have found ourselves, for whatever reason. Who would have thought that you as entrepreneurs would have been the visionary people who had positioned yourself to be able to survive and thrive in these difficult times for most people? I live in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas has something in the neighborhood of 50% unemployment, 50%. They can't even process the number of people that are applying for unemployment benefits inside of Las Vegas. People are out there, they're looking, they're searching, and I agree with what Bob says. You need to have an attitude of service. If you go in this to help people, intention matters. If your intention is to help people, things are going to be great. If your intention is to take advantage, you're going to flame out in this profession anyway. The thing about our business is you can't win by taking advantage of people. Can't do it. That ability has been taken out of the model. The only way you can win is by helping people. It's the only way. So your paycheck is a reflection of the number of people you're actually helping in the world when it comes to your products and your opportunity. So we want to give you the information to grow your paycheck, right? Grow your influence, grow your contribution in the world. So I train and I work and I train around the world. I've coached millions of people, literally and no joke, how to become network marketing professionals. And I want to give you some guidance and some training on that before I introduce you to some others of my friends that are going to be part of this broadcast. But everybody wants to know, tell me what to do, tell me what to say in order to be able to be a network marketing professional. And I will do that, and I will give you some information today. And we'll introduce you to some resources today that will guide you on your journey to become a network marketing professional. However, what to do and what to say is not the most important. You know what the most important is? How to think. You need to change the way you think if you want to become a network marketing professional. You must change the way you think. And people are like, well, what are you talking about? And let me describe what I'm talking about, because just like a computer, our mind has been programmed since we were 2 years old. And for most of you, you've been programmed to act more like an employee than an entrepreneur. You're like, well, what are you talking about? Here's what I'm talking about. Think about it. As you're growing up, it was brush your teeth or what? There's going to be consequences. Finish your vegetables or there's going to be consequences. Stop hitting your sister or there's going to be consequences, right? Go to bed, it's bedtime, or there's going to be consequences. There's always consequences built in, and we were slowly taught to live in the box of the expectations of others. We were slowly taught to stay inside the lines of whatever that expectation that somebody else had of us. We were reacting to somebody else telling us what to do and how to think and what to say. And then we go into the educational system. Does the educational system reward innovation? Does it reward taking risks? Does it reward making mistakes? Nope. Punishes all those things. It says, be here on time or you're going to be tardy, and it's going to have consequences, right? Don't talk in class or there's going to be consequences. Study for the test or there's going to be consequences. Get a good grade or there's going to be consequences. It's going to go on your permanent record. Remember when they used to tell you that? It's going to go on your permanent record. I still don't even know what my permanent record is. But they was always talking about, it's going to go on your permanent record. Fine, right? But anyway, it taught people to fit inside the system, to do as they're told, to act like an employee. It's an employee farm, is what this situation is. So, growing up, education, and then we go get a job. And then we're reinforced. We know how to respond inside of this environment now. We know how to do as we're told. Oh, what time do we show up for work? What time is there a break? What time, what skills am I supposed to learn? How am I supposed to function inside of this office? So if you were in the military, that's on steroids. It's even more as far as do as you're told, or there's consequences. And then some of us get involved in this network marketing venture. And we're still thinking like employees. And I've got to tell you, as long as you think like an employee and you don't think like an entrepreneur, you're not going to get good results inside of your network marketing experience. You're just not. You're just not. You need to change the way you think. And I'll give you an example. And it's literally two sides of a coin. Employee, entrepreneur. It's almost whatever you've been thinking up until now, it's almost the opposite in virtually every case. I'll give you an example. I travel around the world, I speak around the world, and now we're on this GoPro World Tour talking to you around the world. And I ask people, when I bring up the word work, what comes to mind? And think about this. When I bring up the word work, if I brought up the word work to you, what comes to mind? For most people, the answer is pain, obligation, traffic, stress, something you have to do. You don't bring up many joyful words. It's the reason why people want to retire from work. They want to get away from work. Thank God it's Friday because tomorrow I don't have to work. Oh my gosh, it's Sunday. Tomorrow I have to go back to work. Now some people are hoping that they can get back to work right now, right? But think about the way most people think about work. It's something that they're trying to get away from, to get behind them, to get over with, to be done with. Network marketing entrepreneur doesn't think that way. Entrepreneurs, in period, don't think that way. They think of work as passion, as contribution, as creation, as their purpose, as how they are bringing value to the world. So why would they want to get away from work? An entrepreneur rests only long enough to get back to work because that's about contribution is what brings them joy. So long as you're trying to get away from work inside of network marketing, you're going to find an excuse. You're going to find a reason to get away from work, right? But if you change your mindset, like I can't think about retirement. It doesn't even make sense to me. Retirement? Why would I retire from my passion? Why would I retire from contribution and joy and purpose, doing what I love? Why would I do that? Doesn't even make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. So you got to change the way you think about work. You got to change the way you think about making mistakes. As a child or as a student or as an employee, if you make mistakes, it can be devastating. Entrepreneurs make mistakes every single day. That's how they learn. Entrepreneurs say, I never lose. I either win or I learn. That's what entrepreneurs do. So it's different. So if you're worried about being embarrassed all the time and not having a perfect answer, that's what employees think about. Entrepreneurs just say, guess what? We're going to figure it out. If the streaming is buffering on your side, hey, refresh the page. Let's deal with this. Let's handle it. Let's just figure it out. Same thing with support. Employees expect support. They demand support. Entrepreneurs are the support. They create the support. They manufacture the support, whatever they got to do. Risk. Employees will give you 2 weeks. Employee-minded person will give you 2 weeks, and they'll say, well, where's my results? Where's my results? Entrepreneurs are willing to give a lot of time where they're underpaid, and a short period of time where they're fairly paid, and then a long period of time where they're overpaid. Entrepreneurs are willing to make that trade. Employees aren't. So what are you? Are you an entrepreneur in your mind, or are you an employee? And you can make the switch. It's literally the opposite. You can retrain your mind. Network marketing will help you do that. But if you're aware of it now, it can be a big step in the right direction. So, another of my friends is Mr. Brendon Burchard, great guy, author, speaker. He was at one of our events recently, and he had a great short talk that I wanted to share with you. So check out my friend, Mr. Brendon Burchard.
Please listen. You must find something to fight for. You got to find somebody to fight for. You won't fight for yourself. You fight for somebody else. Let that drive hit your heart. You find somebody needs you to go to the next level. Somebody needs you to make that next call. Somebody needs you to get that next check, whether you feel like compelled to do it or not. Somebody out in that world needs you to be here, to be fully present, to learn, to put it into place. Because if you'll do it for them, you'll change yourself and you'll reach the best of who you are. And sometimes you need someone to fight for, somebody who is there, who's pulling you. You got to find somebody or something to fight for, to lift you out of bed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even when you don't want to do it. Here's the ultimate challenge. For those of you who are here, you're already good. You're already good. You're probably the ones in your family who are a little bit more crazy than everybody else, who tried a little bit harder or believed in your dreams just a little bit more, even though they said you're crazy, you kept going for it. You're probably that person who studied more personal development than your friends or your family. You're probably that person who's already into education. It's one reason you're here, because you know the transfer got fire and will inside. You've got a little bit of that. The issue is your story sometimes goes like this, and you're looking for that. I've been there. I'm so struggling, like I'm doing every little about that. The issue is your story sometimes goes like this, and you're looking for that. I've been there. I'm so struggling, like I'm doing everything right. You know, I'm learning, I'm trying, I'm making the calls. I'm sending the emails, making the videos, shaking the hands, following the dream, having the hope, doing my gratitude journal every night. Thankful, joyous, doing everything I can, but I wasn't breaking through, and it was driving me crazy. When you leave this event in a few days, when you walk out that door and you walk out these doors, remember, seek clarity, generate energy, raise necessity, increase your productivity, develop influence by challenging people to be better versions of themselves, and step into the unknown and just listen. Be with it. Listen through the fear. Do that, my friends, and not only will you lead yourselves, you lead your teams, you lead this industry. You gotta have the necessity inside that says, I want to be excellent at this. And if you got that inside, then tell you what, wake up on Monday, my friends, and when you do walk out these doors, and you walk out the doors of your homes and organizations for the rest of your lives, do me a favor and go earn this. Go pro.
Brendon Burchard, my friend. Hope you're getting value from all of this. It's really fun for all of us to put this together. This is in our home. Can you believe this? We have the studio set up in our house. We got all this cool stuff in order to be able to share with you. We're going to be doing a lot of different broadcasts here in our home to share with you around the world. Excited about all that. And man, I mean, we're 44 minutes into a 3-hour experience, and I hope you're getting value. I hope you're filling up your notes. I want to give you one more thought when it comes to mindset before we start focusing on skills. And the thought is this. Let go of being perfect. Let go of perfection. Let go of having all the answers. Let go of looking good. It's very difficult to get better and look good at the same time. One of the things that worked for me, and I think can work for you, is to be willing to be messy while you're becoming a network marketing professional. To be willing to put yourself in potentially embarrassing situations and just handle it, not treat yourself so seriously. Just roll with it. I mean, if somebody throws you a question you don't have the answer to, just say, well, you know what? I don't know the answer to that, but let's go figure it out together. Oh, I guess I made a mistake there. Okay. It's not devastating. In school, a mistake is devastating. In your job, a mistake is devastating. You could get fired. But here, a mistake is a way for you to be able to learn. And just let go of analyzing everything and being paralyzed by needing to have the answer to every single question. And all you perfectionists out there, be willing to be maybe possibly embarrassed while you figure this out. And you will move forward faster. You will have more success faster than the person who waits until it's perfect. Write this into your notes, please. Progress is perfection. You want to get a little bit better every single day. You want to get a little bit better every single day. Now, I got to show you something, and I want to show you our cool board here. Can you bring this up for me? So, I was introduced to, one of my mentors asked me, he said, Eric, can you improve 0.3% per day? Can you improve 0.3% per day? I was like, yeah, I think I could probably do that. It's not that much. If I read a couple pages of a good book, or if I smile one more time, or if I discipline my disappointment, or if I learn one new skill or phrase or something, shouldn't be hard to get 0.3% better a day. He said, Eric, that's 100% in 1 year. You can get 100% better in 1 year. I'm like, all right, 100% better. At that time, I'm making about $10 an hour. So $10 an hour, I can go from $10 an hour to $20 an hour in how valuable I am in the marketplace in 1 year by getting 0.3% better every single day. I'm like, okay. He said, Eric, it doesn't stop there. It keeps compounding. If you keep on the discipline, it'll keep compounding. If you're willing to understand that most of the learning is in the doing, not just in the study, but in the doing, then you're going to get better. So in year 2, it's 200%, which would take me to about $40 an hour. In year 3, it'd be 400%. In year 4, 800%. In year 5, 1,600%. In year 6, 3,200%. In year 7, 6,400%. Now, why do I go to year 7 and 6,400%? Because in year 7, I earned $980,000 in network marketing as a distributor. In year 7. Starting here. And if you take an income, I mean, I'm probably being generous. Let me do this. Isn't my screen cool? It's so cool. I was probably really a $5 an hour person. And if you take a $5 an hour person, you can kind of double that. It's about $10,000 in a year that a person makes. So in year 1, $10, that takes me to about $20,000 a year. $20, $40 an hour, $80 an hour, $160 an hour, $320 an hour. And this would be what? $640 an hour, something like that? So $640 an hour, it's not exactly $980,000, but it's pretty close. Pretty close. So I leaned into network marketing, and it was the grinding wheel of my life. The grinding wheel, I was the lumpy piece of metal, and I leaned into it, and I just started working 1% a day, 0.5% a day, 2%. I got a 2% day. I learned this new thing. I learned this new phrase. I learned this new approach. And I get a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better every single day. And that's what turned into success for me. It can turn into success for you if you'll lean into it, okay? Lean into it, and good things are going to happen. All right, so we're going to come back and talk about skills in a moment, but I have my friend Harvey McKay, who Harvey's another living legend. He's a dear friend. He's one of the greatest natural networkers I know on earth. He can kick my butt in golf. He's 87 years old, and he can destroy me on the golf course. He's just a gem, and he'll teach you how to do the most important thing in the world to do right now, today, in this marketplace, which is build relationships, build connection. So, Harvey McKay, take it away.
Yo, Eric, nice to be with you. I'm excited. I've been looking doubly forward to these few minutes with you, and always enjoy being with you. I'll tell you one thing. These times, no one is immune to these crazy, as you know, virus times. However, I think my father had the answer, and I'd like to share it with all of our viewers. I think this is one answer that'll help them get by day and week by week. My father, head of the Associated Press, terrific writer, 35 years. He taught me, used it all my life. He could take any amount of pain as long as he knew it was going to end. And so this is going to end. Very, very important. And you know, tough times, Eric, they don't last. Tough people do. I've had both of these signs, one more sign, quite frankly, back in Minneapolis at my office. And it said the following, and this has gotten me through to my philosophy in life. And that is, if I had to name the single characteristic, all right, that's shared by all the successful people that I've met over a lifetime, I would say it's the ability to create and nurture a network of relationships. That's really taken me, that philosophy, through my entire life. And let me say another thing. You can take all my money, Eric, take all my factories, take all my plant, take all my employees from me, but leave me my network of relationships. And trust me, I'll be back to where I was today in 3 to 5 years. Incidentally, fascinating study that came out by Harvard University, hold on to your seat, 75 years ago. They interviewed 700 people for 75 years. They tested them. What did they try to find out in that study? What is the longevity? What's the probability that you can live longer and happier? And here are the results down to one single sentence. If you have a deep down burning desire, all right, to have relationships with friends, not family, with friends, then the probability that you will get cancer, the probability you'll have heart disease, Parkinson's, all of them goes way down. What a remarkable study. And the bottom line is stay connected. Very, very important. And again, that relationship, you have to be all in when you're staying connected. If you're not all in, then you don't have a chance. You have to go deep in those relationships. Difference between 100% all in and 99% all in is 100%. So very, very important. Anyway, my father, he got a hold of me age 18. Harvey, every person you meet the rest of your life goes into a Rolodex file, assuming you want to keep in touch with that person, a little bit on the back of the card. Of course, it's a computer today. And then here's the key. Here's the real key. Find a creative, underline, creative way to keep in touch. That's what I've been doing all of my life. A real good example. I write Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive many, many years ago. I want to be published. I have a New York publisher, one of the best in the world. Now, CEO summit meeting, CEO, President, VP National Sales. You must remember years ago, if you're an unknown first time, all right, author, and I was from the flyover state of Minnesota, they print 10,000 hardcover books. 35 minutes into the meeting, I asked for the order. And I say to them, I would like you to seriously consider printing 100,000 hardcover books. swim with the sharks. And now I'm on the 37th floor, and they told me to jump. But I'm in the conference room, in the boardroom, underneath the table. I pull out 2 humongous briefcases. Then I pull out 2 huge Rolodex files, 6,500 names ever since I was 18 years of age. Pillsbury, General Mills, 3M, Honeywell, just to name a few. Customers we do business with. Maybe they'll read the book. Maybe they'll pass it along. Maybe it'll be a New York Times bestseller. And I also did the same thing with my second Rolodex, which also, of course, was countries that we're doing business with. Maybe it'll be an international bestseller. So I was very, very, of course, proud of that. Now, lastly, I wrote a book called Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty, subtitled The Only Networking Book You'll Ever Need. And that wound up in 200 universities. And of course, I'm very proud of that. First chapter is as follows, just the gist of it, very, very quickly. How many people can you call at 2 a.m. in the morning and they will return the call? Tell them you're in trouble, have to see them right away, and they will come. Well, I've asked hundreds of people that question. Average is 3, 4, 5, 6 people. I'm very, very proud. And I know it sounds braggadocio, and I know it sounds self-serving, but I have about 50 friends that I could call. Why? Because I've been practicing this for approximately 50 years. So that's very, very important. Once again, those relationships have to go very deep. And lastly, let me just say the following, and I thank you because it was a great idea on your part. I do want to give back. I do want to contribute something to this worldwide audience. So very proud to be a part of. So whatever up here, the last 50, 60 years, I want to offer it to your people. It's free. It's gratis. There is no charge. And that is as follows. Again, very succinctly. That's all. I'd like them to listen, of course, very closely. I think this is an unusual opportunity. I started a round table several years ago, 19 men, 11 women, companies from $2 million to $300 million, and I mentored them professionally. Subjects, sales, marketing, entrepreneurship, negotiations, leadership, hiring, firing, creativity, time management, networking, on and on and on. A real MBA in the real world. Brought in worldwide speakers, Lou Holtz, of course, which is a very good friend of yours, as well as mine. John Maxwell, people, of course, certainly have heard of him on leadership. Ken Blanchard, 1 Minute Manager, just to name a few. I charged them $150,000 for 6 meetings the first year, 6 meetings the second year. $150,000 for that information. And I now have it at the Harvey McKay Academy. And here's one of the beautiful things of all, believe it or not, it's transcribed. Hear Lou Holtz for 60 minutes, click on a button. 2 minutes later, you got 40 pages. The whole university, 150 hours, called the Harvey McKay Academy, is all transcribed. So I'd like to do the following. And remember one other thing, crucial. You can not only use this yourself, you can give it to your spouse if you're married, you can give it to your employees, you can give it to your customers, you can give it to your friends. That's it, an MBA in the real world. So here's all you do. Really simple. Just go to Harvey McKay, M-A-C-K-A-Y, might be at the bottom of the screen, harveymckacademy.com/worry, W-O-R-R-E, /. Just repeat, harveymckacademy.com/worry/. And use the promo code WORRY for 100% off. WORRY for 100% off. Unfortunately, only good for 48 hours, Eric, because of our worldwide audience. 48 hours, it's all you have to do. Happy to send it to you. Use it for life. It freshens up all the time, and I'm using all kinds of material. So when you click on, you will find first words. This is of course something that I wrote and I live by. I almost have a flashcard under my pillow, but as I love to say, biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. Thanks a million. Good luck to your audience. I love you.
Well, thank you, Harvey. I appreciate you, my friend. And remember, I told you coaching is a time machine. It's just an opportunity for you to be able to have wisdom and learn from people who've gone before you. He's got a lifetime of learning, and I did ask him and all the speakers that are involved today to give as much as they can, as much value as they can to this community, and I'm glad that he did that. I hope you take advantage of it. We have tens of thousands of people watching around the world live right now. I'm so privileged to be able to have this time with you, to spend this time with you. In our second hour, we're going to take a break in a moment, but in our second hour, you're going to hear, I'm going to give you some training on some skills. You're going to hear from Worry. You're going to hear from Robert Kiyosaki. You're going to hear from Fraser Brooks on social media, and you're going to hear from Les Brown. But in the meantime, just like on the big time TV, we need to take a break. Let's take a break for 3 minutes, give you a chance to refresh yourselves. We'll be back in just 3 minutes. See you then.